Danger can be so much fun when confined to the boundaries of your imagination. For this adventure, the safety of your party is yours to ensure. But do you have the necessary tools? Are you prepared for the unpredictable? Fantasy gets you ready for reality. Don't leave the security of your organization up to the imagination.
Hello, my name is Ben Wallace. I'm a security and compliance strategist for MentorMate. I'm here today to talk to you about tabletop exercises. A tabletop exercise is a collaborative exercise that is designed to expose risks and vulnerabilities in your organization's policies, procedures, and technological countermeasures when evaluated against a real-world threat or risk scenario. A tabletop exercise can determine where gaps in your policies and procedures exist, and it can also determine where technology can be used to better secure your infrastructure or your environment, and to ensure that your employees or your users are not gaining access to areas that they shouldn't. The goals of a tabletop exercise are to improve your risk mitigation and management. The core of MentorMate's tabletop exercises and risk management frameworks that we will be practicing with a tabletop is the NIST 800, which is widely accepted as the cornerstone of risk management frameworks. It's employed by FedRAMP, it's employed by HITRUST. Every major controlled certified framework out there utilizes this same basis for their risk management frameworks. We do tune it specifically to your organization's compliance needs. If you work in medical, if you work in financial, if you work in manufacturing, we have specialists who understand ISO and can help tune this to work specifically with your environment. The process that we go through to tailor a tabletop exercise to your organization begins with discovery. We will have interviews with your stakeholders, with your incident response specialists, to ensure that we have a full and complete understanding of your environment and make sure that every part of this test is relevant to your organization. And that includes customization. We're going to go through and write a unique scenario that could and maybe already has actually happened with your organization to test it against something that's valid to your environment. Going through the actual exercise itself is pretty fun. I know you saw our fun little D&D intro. It's quite a bit like that. Your stakeholders within your organization are going to come onto a conference call or into an actual conference room with some of MentorMate's top security and compliance strategists and staffers, and we're going to walk through an incident as though we are playing a game. So your team is going to come in blind, not knowing what would happen, the same way as if we all walked into a disaster on Monday morning and had to figure out exactly how to resolve it. And we will walk through every step. There's hidden information, there's adventures, there's no dungeons, unfortunately, maybe just some server rooms. At the end of this exercise, your organization will receive a completed scorecard that can be used as auditable evidence in a compliance evaluation for, say, FedRAMP or HITRUST. On top of that, MentorMate is going to prepare for you corrective action plans for any vulnerabilities discovered along the way in terms of technology that can be used or real-world solutions for the problems that were discovered, or the vulnerabilities and risks that were discovered throughout the course of the exercise. So this isn't going to be something where you come in and you just sort of get a score and walk away. Your organization will get actionable instructions as to how to proceed to resolve these issues. So the end goal of a tabletop exercise is to discover vulnerability before it happens and end vulnerability before it becomes an incident. The scenarios that we choose are real-world incidents. They're things that could happen to any organization. So these aren't necessarily devised to expose a weakness specifically within your organization. These are real world scenarios. These are things that could happen to any organization, things from natural disasters to employee theft to data loss. They're real world threats that your organization needs to be prepared for. If you're interested in learning more, visit MentorMate.com, follow the links to contact.